you're looking at is LG's 65-inch Super UHD TV. They have models ranging from 55 inches all the way up to 65 inches with 3D technology variants. The Super UHD TV also features an IPS 4K quantum display technology, which gives off wider viewing angles, so no matter where you are sitting in the room, you still get the best experience. Honestly, the color reproduction of this TV is ridiculously good, and you can't really tell through a camera lens. This is a perfect example of you need to see it in person to believe it. Even though there isn't much 4K content out there, the TV will still upscale it to 4K, meaning the images won't get pixelated. With the quantum display, you get a much wider palette of over 1 billion rich colors for a more lifelike picture. It also states that the TV features a TrueMotion 240Hz refresh rate, which is just a marketing term. The TV in fact has a 120Hz refresh rate. In terms of aesthetics, the TV looks beautiful. Super thin silver bezels with an aluminum curved base. I don't really have a problem with a silver base, but I definitely would have preferred black bezels so that it blends in with the screen. The TV itself is also extremely thin, measuring just under an inch from each side. Taking a look in the back, you can find all the necessary inputs along with 4 holes which are VESA compatible in case you decide to mount it against the wall. You also get 1 USB 3 in, 3 HDMI ports, and 2 standard USB ins near the bottom. To the left of that, you get the usual optical out, SVC, Ethernet port, and of course your antenna or cable. On the bottom center of the display, you will find a joystick to navigate the menu and a pair of 20-watt speakers which were designed by Harman Kardon. And let me tell you guys, these sound pretty damn good considering they are built-in speakers. Here's a few audio samples.
He made up his mind 10 minutes ago. Do what you're gonna do.
There's only one path to peace. Called the Ultron program.
This is definitely one of the very few TVs that I have tested out that actually have great built-in speakers. Another thing that LG did right is their remote and operating system. I can't tell you how many horrible remotes and operating systems I've been through, and I feel like LG has the best OS offered on any TV. And I can say that because I've tested Samsung's, Vizio's, and even Sony's TVs, and none of them come close. To start off, the remote itself is super easy to use. LG calls it their magic remote. It's compact and doesn't have a million buttons on there, only the essentials that you need. I especially love the scroll wheel, and I feel like this is something the other TVs are missing big time. It just makes it that much easier navigating and scrolling through pages. The remote also features a built-in sensor that allows you to simply point and click, and although it's not something I'm a huge fan of, it's definitely a lot better than using the directional buttons to type out words. Personally, I would prefer to have a small keyboard built in the remote, maybe on the opposite side so that I can just turn it over and start typing stuff whenever I need to. It also has a built-in mic so you can use your voice to search for things, which was surprisingly very accurate.
Game of Thrones.
I found myself using the voice search more than the actual point and click feature. The remote does use 2 AA batteries which are included, but I tossed those aside and used my EBL rechargeable batteries instead. Once they run out of juice in a few months, I simply recharge them and slap them back inside. I never have to buy new batteries again. But if you guys are interested in checking these out, I'll leave a link below for you. I'm also a huge fan of LG's new WebOS 3.0, which is the operating system that it's running. It's simplified, colorful, and extremely user-friendly. So on the main page is where you will find LG's content store. You can check out your most recently viewed TV shows or movies for easy access. On the top of the screen is where you can find the specific tabs for TV shows, movies, apps, and gaming. Under the Premium tab is where you can find all the apps that come with the TV, but a quicker way to access the apps is by pressing the home button on the controller. I personally don't have cable since I don't watch TV, so the 2 main apps that I use constantly are Netflix and YouTube. And since this is a 4K TV, meaning it has a resolution of 3840 by 2160, I can enjoy 4K content straight from YouTube. A lot of YouTubers, myself including, film in 4K, and I get to watch the content the way it's meant to be watched. The TV also features screen sharing on select devices that are compatible, meaning you guys can connect your smartphone, tablet, or laptop and mirror the content straight from your device. Luckily, the YouTube app has a built-in mirror or AirPlay option so that I can connect my iPhone directly to the TV through the YouTube app and play any video I want. I love this feature since I can exit the app and still use my phone without interfering with the video. Before I get into gaming, I want to talk about the main feature of these TVs that separate it from the rest of the competition. So LG's Super UHD TVs come with HDR technology, which allows the TV to display more realistic images. It has more depth thanks to its brighter brights and improved shadow detail. More specifically, there are two formats for HDR content: Dolby Vision and HDR10. LG's TVs are the only ones available now that actually support both. The movies or TV shows that are mastered for Dolby Vision or HDR10 can be enjoyed on LG's TVs, which basically lets you watch the movies the way they were meant to be watched. Here's a good example of what it would look like with and without Dolby Vision. As you guys can tell, the colors come to life as I drag the bar across. More and more Hollywood blockbusters and TV shows are being mastered in Dolby Vision and being played in cutting-edge cinemas across the world. If you guys want the same experience, you need Dolby Vision or HDR10, and since LG's new TV has both, you won't be missing out. Even though the TV has a 60Hz refresh rate, the HDMI outputs less than that, meaning there is noticeable input lag. It definitely doesn't feel like you're getting a 60Hz refresh rate, it's more like 30 to 40. It's a shame because I do like playing on my PS4 occasionally, but with the input lag, I just can't play well. The responsiveness and accuracy is greatly impacted. The requirement is to follow LG Electronics on Twitter, and I'll go to leave a link to their account down below. And the second requirement is to post a video.